Hello and thank you for tuning into the Stonyfield Outdoor Channel. Today we're going to take a look at my brand new ground blind, the Mantis 2 from New Archery Products. The Mantis 2 comes in this carry bag. It features an adjustable strap with padding for your shoulder, a small pocket in the front that holds the instructions and stakes, and the main pocket that holds the blind itself. Getting the Mantis 2 ground blind set up is extremely easy. Simply follow the detailed instructions provided with the blind. One of the big features that stuck out to me when NAP debuted this blind series at the 2018 ATA show is the roof design. Instead of your traditional hub where water and snow could collect in the center and actually collapse the roof, this has a nice slope design to it, outside of the box thinking that's going to allow that rain and snow to just fall off. You're never going to walk up to your blind in the dark and have to worry about fixing your roof from a rainstorm or a snowstorm the day before. Weighing only 14.5 pounds, this ground blind is constructed of a 600 denier fabric that is tear resistant. Located all around the outside of this blind are straps that you can tie off additional branches, limbs, corn stalks, whatever you want to use to help brush it in even more. A really nice feature about this blind is the opening of the door. If you've ever had a hunt out of a ground blind that has a really narrow door opening, you know what I'm talking about because it's a pain in the butt to get in and out. NAP went out of their way to design a door that gives you a ton of room. And if you remove the stake right here where the zipper closes, you can actually make this ground blind opening so big that it's wheelchair accessible. The other huge feature that jumped out at me when I first saw these blinds was this dragnet window system. With the panel down, instead of having just an open hole, you have these elastic bands crisscrossing in front of you, which breaks up your pattern even more. But to see how this really works, we have to go inside the blind. Okay, now that we're inside the blind, we can really see where this dragnet window system shines. What you can do is you can take these elastic bands and start pulling them to the sides, up and down, and clipping them on these yellow clips. What that's going to do is give you a custom window that you can shoot your bow out of, your crossbow, your shotgun, your rifle. You customize it the way that you see fit for your hunting situation. And additionally, outside of just having this hole, you can also put the shoot through mesh up if you so choose to use it, as I did on this window. Either with or without the mesh panels in place, when you only have a few windows open in the Mantis blind, it is plenty dark inside to help conceal you. NAP says that they designed these Mantis blinds with the bow hunter in mind. Now, I'm 6'2" with a 29.5-inch draw length, and I'm shooting a 35-inch axle-to-axle Hoyt Carbon RX1 Ultra. And I can tell you just by sitting in here, this Mantis 2 for this compound bow, it's a little bit tight. Now, if I pick my setup right, I do still have to kind of like put my arrow just slightly out the window, and instead of just drawing with my shoulder, I got to kind of push the bow with my other hand a little bit, which isn't too bad. Now once I'm anchored in, my back elbow's just touching the back of the blind, but I have plenty of clearance in the front with the peak design to move to the 3 shooting windows, which isn't horrible. Now, if I had a smaller axle to axle and a shorter draw length, I would have even more room. And crossbow hunters, rifle hunters, shotgun hunters, you're not going to have a problem at all with this setup using these free windows in the front. If you shoot a longer draw length and a longer axle-to-axle bow though, and you're interested in these blinds, you might want to consider getting the Mantis 3 just to have some more room over the 2. But all in all, it will work for bow hunting. Aside from me being a little cramped with my compound bow, My biggest complaint is the rods that go along the backside where the door is. I had to put additional stakes on it to keep it down. It has a tendency to want to lift up a little bit. Now, I'm not on perfectly level ground, which might be causing part of the problem, but still it felt like the tension of the rods wanted to spring. So the solution was easy, a few more stakes. It's not a horrible thing to complain about, but it's something to keep in mind. I can't speak for the Mantis 3 if it has the same problem or not. This is only my experience so far with the Mantis 2. My overall first impression of the Mantis 2 ground blind by NAP is a pretty good one. You get the innovative design with the sloped roof, you get the dragnet window system, a nice door to get yourself and all your gear in, and the fabric does feel very heavy duty. Crossbow shooters, rifle and shotgun shooters are going to love these things. Compound bow shooters, you might want to consider going to the Mantis 3 unless you shoot a very small axle to axle and a very short draw length. The 3 is going to give you more room to draw your bow and to move it around, and then the same would go for recurve shooters as well. Now, the other reason you might want to consider the 3 over the 2 is if you plan on taking a youth hunter with you or a cameraman, because the Mantis 2 is basically set up for one person. Aside from that though, I think NAP did a great job coming to the blind market with a very innovative design.